Hello friends, welcome to Nihira Techiees. This is our Angular 15 authentication series using Json-server API. And this is the part 2 video. So in my part 1 video, I have explained the functionality of registration, login and user activation. So I will share that link also in the description. If required, you have to watch it. For this video, I'm going to focusing on this user role permission for the functionality of add and edit delete. Okay. So before going to this implementation, let me provide some short notes that actually I have followed in my part 1 video. So make sure you should have the latest version of Node.js, and also you have to upgrade your Angular CLI to 15 and install the JSON server because the database purpose we are using this Json-server API, and then you have to create the application, install this material UI package for the design purpose, and showing the notification you have to install this ngx-toastr, and finally how to run our API. Okay, now let's start our implementation. So first I'm going to start it from our db.json file, okay, because the data is the very important thing. So in my db.json file currently I'm having one user array and one role array. Okay, so here I'm going to include two more objects. So the first one is for menu. Okay, so our first menu name is user, that is fine, and the second menu is customer. So next let me create one more object, role access. So here the first field name is role and the second field is menu user, and the third one is have edit. So this is the boolean field, and the similar way I am going to include two more fields, have add and have delete. Okay, so now I have added one record for the role of admin, and the similar way I am going to include it. So the next menu is customer. So here the concept is we have two menus. So the role of admin having the complete permission for user screen and also the customer screen. Okay, and also I'm having two more roles, the user and tech. So here what we supposed to do, let me copy the whole object, and the user. So in this user menu they can view the things but don't have this edit or delete and add access. Okay, so let me make everything into false. And in this customer screen we can provide this edit option and also add. The delete access I'm going to remove. Okay, so this is for the role of user, and finally we have one more role, that is for tech. So the tech user don't have access for our user menu, they have only access for the customer, that also only add access. So this edit access and also this delete both are removed. Okay, so the data point of view we have completed. I hope our API also running. Yeah, let me verify it. Okay, this is fine. Next what I'm going to do, let me create one new menu. So this is for the customer. So here we have this user. So after the user I'm just including this customer, and the route name is customer. Okay, and it is always visible, no more restriction. And then we have to include this in our routing section. So we need to create one component also. Let me create it. Okay, great. The customer component is created. So let me map our component here. Okay, this is fine. And the next thing is we should have the customer data also. So I'm going to include some default data here. So this one is customer. Okay, now we have done our data side. Component, let me log in the application. See, our customer menu was there. So currently we have one small text only. So in this customer screen, I'm going to load the list of customers and I'm not going to focusing on these actions. So instead of that, I'm going to focusing on how to handle this access. Okay. And now let me copy the codes from our user component. So using that, we can load our customer stream. Here instead of this load user, I'm going to change this into load customer. And then, so in this constructor side, this form builder, it's not required. Okay, arch service. So we have to import it. So it is resolved and this mat dialog also not required. Okay. So the constructor point of view, we are good. And instead of this user list, I'm going to change this into customer list. And this view child is required. And then mat paginator and mat shorting both are required. And then this mat table data source also required thing only. And our display columns are code, name, and credit limit, and finally action. That's it. And this service point of view, we have to create one more function. Get to all customer, and let me take the URL also. Okay, this is fine. And we can create one more function. So here we have two parameters. The first one is role and the next one is menu. So basically we are passing this menu name and also role. So we will check our role access API. So we are going to match this role and menu. So if we have the data, we are going to return. Otherwise, I'm going to return the empty object. So once we have this object, we will know whether the user having this edit, add, delete functionality for the particular menu. So based on that, we can implement our role-based access functionality. Okay. So as I mentioned, I'm going to pass this role and menu. So our API should be like this. Role admin and menu customer. Okay, actually I'm having two data. I believe I have to correct the data. Okay. Yeah, now it is fine. So here this admin and customer both are the dynamic value. Okay, our function is ready. So instead of this get all method, we can call our get all customer. Okay. Now just to move on the HTML part. So first, this is the customer listing, and the first column is code, and the database field is ID, that is fine, and the name, and the final one is credit limit, and the status and role we don't have, and the final one is action. Okay. So instead of this user update, let me change this into update customer, and here we don't have any condition also. Let me define this function, otherwise we will get an in. And also let me define this function, otherwise we will get an error. Okay. See, this is our customer listing screen. Okay. So here I added the button for edit, and also I'm going to include one more button for delete. And let me change this color into accent. Okay. So this is good. And also we can have one more button for the add user. Okay. Okay, the design point of view fine. Now let me go to our TS file. So here I am going to declare three variables. Okay. Have add. Okay, I declared three variables and the default value I set it as the false only. Okay. So next I am going to create one function. Set access permission. So let me call over service. The method is get access by role. So here there are two inputs. The first one is role and the second one is menu. So menu we know. So this is the customer stream, right? So we can hard code. But the role is the dynamic one. Once we are logged in, we are storing the role in session storage, or else we can store in the local storage. So in my case, already I have stored in the session storage. And for getting this role also, I created one function. Okay. So this is available in our services. So we can use it here. Okay. So this dot service get role. Okay. Now let me subscribe it. And then let me declare one more variable here. The data type should be any. Okay. So let me format it. Then we can call this function in our page load. Okay. Or else we can call in our constructor itself. Now let me put this access data into our console. See the console we are getting on array. So the data are admin and customer. So we have this have, edit, access and delete. Both are in the true state only. Okay. Now let me command this one. We can check one condition here. If so, this dot access data length more than 0, have add equal to. So anyway, we'll get single record only, have add. The similar way we can include for edit and delete also, okay. So once we have the values in our variable, we can implement the functionality here. So first let me take this update customer, okay. So here what I'm going to do, let me checking like this. So this dot have edit. So we have the permission. So here we can implement the edit functionality. At the else scenario, we have to inform to the user that you don't have the access, okay. So first let me inject the toast service here in our constructor side. So in this first scenario, basically we will implement the functionality of edit. So in our case, I am just going to provide one message only, okay. That's it. Let me save it. So if I'm clicking, I am getting this success message only because I am logging using our admin credential, right? So let me log in using our Techie account. So again, I am in the customer page. So if I'm trying to edit this one, see, you don't have access for the edit, okay? So the similar way I'm going to include for other functionalities. So the condition is have delete, okay? And the final one is add. So the functionality point of view we have done. Now we can verify the things, okay? So let me log out first. First we can check using our admin credential. So admin don't have any restriction. If I'm clicking add, it is success. So if I'm clicking edit, that also success. And delete, that also I'm getting the success. There is no more restriction. And the second, I'm going to log in using the user credential, test user. So the user can add, this is success, and edit, that also success. In the delete, you don't have access for delete, okay? The user role, the permission restricted for doing this delete operation. So that actually we can confirm it from our service also. See, let me refresh it. Okay. For the customer menu, the user can able to edit and add. The delete is false. That's what we are getting this message. And the final one is techie user. Okay. So this is the techie user. So this techie user basically don't have access for doing any of the actions. Okay. So the tech user, we can check the tech user in this customer menu, they have only the add access. Okay, first in this add we are getting this success message, it is fine, and in this edit I am getting you don't have access for edit, and finally the delete also it is saying you don't have access for delete. Okay, so now let me change the permission here. For the tech user I'm going to change this add also into false. Let me refresh it. See now, you don't have access for create also. It is completely blocked. Okay. So as of now, we have applied this role-based access for edit, delete, and also this add. For the view, we are not yet applied. So that also we can implement. So let me show the scenario here. I'm going to remove this record. Okay. So that means the tech user don't have access for customer menu. So if I'm refreshing, still I am able to access the customer menu. Okay. For this scenario, how we are going to manage? So let me go to the code. So in our component side, so here we are setting this user role permission, right? You are not access. Okay. And also once the role permission is set, then only we have to load our customer information. Okay. So let me move the load customer also here only. So you are not authorized to access. And see the customer also data are not loaded. So I am in the home menu. If I'm going to the customer, I'm getting the message like this. Okay. And also I need to navigate into home page. So that already we have done in some other areas. So in our card we have implemented. So let me take this router. We can inject here. So in our constructor side. So once you don't have the access, that's it. So the message is saying you are not authorized to access. Once you are click the OK, it is simply redirected into our home page. Okay. So now we are almost in the end of the video. So before going to close, let me provide one more information. So this role access data I have added statically. So basically that also we can handle it from the UI itself. So maybe in my next video I'm going to cover. So my idea is I'm going to create the separate screen for that. That screen should be accessed by only the admin user. So there I'm going to load all the user roles. The user can choose the particular role, and then menu should be loaded in the grid. So in the grid I am going to provide three options like I have access for edit, delete, and add. So for the each actions I'm going to provide the checkbox. So once the role is selected automatically, also they can tick the checkboxes. So once they click the save button, so that data should be replicated in our role access object. Okay, this is my concept. Maybe we can see in the next video. Still, if you have any doubts or clarification, please post in the comment box, and also please don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you. Thanks for watching.